Okay. So coffee rant. Technical difficulties. Hold up. Okay, so Bridget from AZ got a hold of one of the best people she could have gotten a hold of in my home hall. Audio discrepancies or whatever, I will be mirroring this. So, yeah, here we go.
Oh, Christine, this is Brother Paul Parham. I'm the coordinating elder for Jehovah's Witnesses here in Farmington.
Oh, great.
And, I got your number from one of our sisters.
Yeah, thank you so much for calling me back. Well, I just had some questions.
Would it be good if a couple of us stopped by and visited with you? Would that be better?
I don't really live around there, but
okay.
Someone just gave me the number to.
He made it a point to say who he was, of course.
Because I thought you know an elder could ask the questions that I had. It's about I just wanted to see what you guys thought about it, because I've studied with Jehovah's Witnesses before.
I see.
And I thought I enjoyed it, and I thought about doing it again, but I was a little put off by some things that have been in the news. Are you familiar with the Australia Royal Commission on Child Sexual Abuse in Australia?
Vaguely.
Vaguely. This dude he plays close to the chest. I've gone out in service with him. He used to be a special pioneer. Don't know if he is or not still, but he's one of those that'll look down your nose at you and go, okay, I know better than you. I haven't listened to this. Whew.
In fact, the Australia Commission, if that's what you called it.
Yeah.
I have there's another brother with me. I'm in a car group. He's
of course you are.
He just moved here from New Zealand. Are you familiar with that organization? He's not familiar with that particular organization, but it seems like I've heard something about it.
Yeah, I mean, so you're the head of that whole congregation there, and I mean, doesn't kind of inform you of things like that in the news that really people might ask you about? It's pretty serious stuff.
I see. So what's your concern?
Oh, well, they concluded that Watchtower's policies place their children at risk of sexual abuse.
What's your concern? She says child sexual abuse, and he goes, what's your concern? Okay. Let me see what I can get out of you.
Especially, they have in the past discouraged people from reporting to the police. Australia had a list of over 1,000 alleged child abusers, and they didn't call the police on any of them ever. And so feeling, and just many other things. I mean, Jeffrey Jackson was there, gave testimony under oath, and I was just really shocked by the whole thing. I was shocked by the things he said. I was shocked by having 1,000 alleged child abusers and not calling the police. I was shocked by the 2-witness rule. Have you ever heard of that?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah, you have, dude. Quit playing stupid.
Yeah, they talked
Yes,
about
I am
that.
familiar with that. Right. That's a
Yeah.
biblical principle, yes.
It's not really, in the case of a crime, such a serious crime, that would rarely have 2 witnesses. You know, like one thing, the guy that was prosecuting them or you know, examining them, one of their main lawyers,
I see.
his name was Angus Stewart. He brought out the example, I think it's in Deuteronomy, of a rape. And you know, that crying out thing assumes that people would be around, but she was in some remote field or remote area, and the man was prosecuted in the Old Testament. So what he was saying is, it's not really as simplistic as that, and you know, it's such a hideous crime, and it would rarely have 2 people watching. You know.
Oh yeah, right. I can understand your concern. I have a daughter. She's grown up now, but and I have a little granddaughter that's 8 years old, and I know that is you know, my wife and I in particular, were very conservative in our protection for her, especially as she was growing up and through her teenage years.
But when somebody goes and says, hey, I'm getting my ass kicked, what do? You just turn a blind ear. Yeah, blind ear to that, right? Right on.
And it would just devastate me if there was some kind of situation that involved my daughter. And but I got to tell you that authority, because I've been involved in a number of these cases.
Yes, you have. Speaking with authority. Okay, let's yeah, drive the I'm important. Ha ha ha. A little more, please. Just a little. Thank you. I would not have been able to do this myself.
Over the years, I've been an elder for our congregation, the presiding elder for the last 45 years, and I've been involved in a number of these cases.
Yes,
and I got to tell you that Jehovah's Witnesses, among not only the world's religions, but even the world's organizations, have the most strictest policy.
No, they concluded exactly the opposite. And it seems like also that they said that they actually shelter them is what the policies do. And they also brought out that they're not really equipped or qualified to investigate into that. And if there wasn't 2 witnesses, they just tell the person to leave it in Jehovah's hands. This other thing came out also recently from the BBC. You might be really interested in watching it. It was about 2 women that were sexually abused in the Kingdom Hall when they were 5 and 10. And then the guy ended up going to jail, and then he was coming back to the Kingdom Hall, and they forced them to face him and have this meeting with him and all these elders where they were interrogating.
Well,
he was allowed to interrogate her. This was recently.
Yeah, I gotta tell you that is absolutely not our policy.
Oh man.
Hello, this is Christine.
Hold on. Let's see if it reloads. That was only about half of it. Yeah, absolutely not our policy. Uh, Hold on, technical difficulties. Gotta love it.
Not our policy. I don't know where they got their information, but we shield the victims from the from these abusers aggressively.
Oh,
In fact,
the Australian Royal Commission concluded exactly the opposite. There was
Shield people from, yeah, okay. I'm glad I left. And Paul, I have half a mind to call you up now and go, hey, dude, you remember me?
in a recent case, the Watchtower law.
I don't know about Australia, but I know
Yeah.
the situation here in the United States and especially in New Mexico. New Mexico has very, very strict child abuse laws, one of the most strictest in the nation, and Jehovah's Witnesses cooperate 100%.
Right.
Bullshit.
If it needs to be reported, we do that. I don't know about Australia and what happened
they did
halfway
talk
around
about,
the world.
people have talked a lot about the different states that don't require mandatory reporting, and in which case the elders or whoever it is do not. You know, that they're instructed to call the legal.
We do encourage the parents and the relatives. We do encourage the parents and the relatives to seek legal advice and direction.
That's very.
Yeah, okay. We encourage the parent to seek legal advice. All right. What about the child? No, nothing? Nothing. Okay. Cool.
Disputed also. There's literally hundreds of testimonies where.
No, it is not disputed.
It is
here in the United States and especially in New Mexico.
No.
Like I say, you're talking about a country halfway around the world.
No. I'm saying in
what
the
is
United
going on
States,
here in our local community?
Also. There's literally probably 1,000.
I think your information. I think your information is either being embellished upon, being exaggerated, but what you are saying is totally. I can speak with authority as one of the principal overseers in Jehovah's organization.
You can speak with authority, huh? Okay. Okay. I usurp your authority, asshole.
Speak with authority that everything you have said is totally against our policies. Our children are protected aggressively by the congregation. If there's an abuser, he is dealt with judicially, and even
if there is an abuser, he is dealt with judicially. Okay. So what about calling the cops? Again, I have not listened to this full thing yet. This is the first time I'm hearing this. The abuser is dealt with judicially. So when I went to the elders and said, hey, by the way, my dad's kicking my ass, deal with it. And Brother Chuck Keeler went to Paul Parham and said, hey, What do we do about this? Oh, wait, no, he didn't do that. We don't, we can't do anything because you're a minor. Right on. And this is Chuck Healer. Paul Parham, he probably doesn't even know what happened.
And disfellowship from the congregation.
Even if there's not two witnesses? What if there's not two witnesses that they've had that?
Well, if there's a confession.
No, what if there's not? Why don't you call the police? Why don't you call the police to investigate it? I mean, if someone was murdered, would you say you're going to look into it, or there wasn't two witnesses to this dead body?
If someone was murdered, she's referencing a Dateline special, I believe, that it's called Tangled. It's about my aunt on my dad's side. Which I will give him this. He did send me the link to that Dateline special. Otherwise, I would have never heard of it. But just because you're right once, it doesn't make it okay.
And so you're just going to leave it in Jehovah's hands?
Well,
it's
listen,
a crime on the level, on that level.
I've been one of Jehovah's Witnesses for 60 years, and I got to tell you that, especially raising a family, a young daughter in this organization, protected her from so much of the evil and wickedness and satanic abuse that this world is forcing upon our children. Sex education in the schools, the programs that you see on television, the movies, the books. I am so thankful that I raised my daughter as one of Jehovah's Witnesses, and I would not do that. I would not have it any other way, because there is no organization on this earth that protects their children more than Jehovah's Witnesses. And I don't know where you're getting your information from. It sounds like
bullshit.
Many people there in Australia, official lawyers and investigators.
Forget about Australia. We live here in the United States.
They have the exact same policies. They're in an elders
manual. No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't.
Oh, they have different ones?
They have different policies? Okay. You're funny.
Well, it sounds like you're being a little argumentative here, and so I'm going to end the conversation. But I
also find it really shocking that you don't even know about it. It's just kind of like Jackson, you know, he went in there to testify. He hadn't even read.
You have a nice day.
He hadn't even read the two witnesses that told their.
And that's that. So that's the kind of congregation I grew up in. Like I said, I will repost this phone conversation and mirror it. Thank you, Bridget. I wouldn't have been able to do this myself. Whew. Thank you. Yeah, it's aggravating. It's aggravating listening to this dude speak out his mouth when I've gone out in service with this dude. I've gone knocking on Navajo's doors with this guy. It just, Mm. It shows how they don't care. They don't care blatantly. Okay. Thanks, all. Black sheep, the unwitness. This is why I am a black sheep right here.